Welcome back. Now, you know, we ended last week's Wellness Wednesdays with one of those 1990s sitcom style to be continued cards there on the end. As Spencer showed us an interval to boost what we call the VO2 max. So now today we're breaking down what that actually means, also how you can test your own results at home without a lab. So here is Spencer, and we're going to walk us back to catch us up, Spencer, with explaining what the VO2 max is.
Yes, so last week we talked about the Norwegian 4x4, which is a running protocol that helps you increase your VO2 max. And so to remind everybody, VO2 max is your body's engine. So it's a way that we're able to figure out how well we're able to use oxygen and deliver it to our system so we can use energy. And it's a very important indicator for our health span, because better cardiorespiratory fitness is an indicator to let us know that we're going to be more independent in our lives down as we age.
And what's great about this is that you don't really have to go to a specialist to determine it. You can figure it out yourself without being in a lab and things attached to you.
Well, yes, it's a great way to get an estimation. If you do really want to do this right, a VO2 max means maximal effort.
Okay.
So yes, you would want to go get like a CPX test done by a cardiologist, and they'll put some probes on you and everything. But what we can do is a sub-max test, meaning we're not doing maximal effort, but it does give us a great estimation. And that sub-max test is the Rockport Walk Test. All you need to do is you need a heart rate monitor, like a watch like this. You know, a lot of people have Apple Watches and others. And you're going to walk 1 mile as quick as you can and track your heart rate at the very end of that mile. Now, a lot of people, when they do this, they want to start running on the treadmill or run on a track. You cannot run at all. It's called the walk test for a reason. Okay? So when you do the walk test, like I said, you're going to walk 1 mile, get your heart rate at the end, and then we're going to have an easy formula that we could put up on screen that you can follow. Plug in your results. So we want to know the time it took. We want to know your weight. We want to know your age, your gender. And then from there, you're going to get a result. Okay? That results in nanograms per kilogram per milliliter. And right here, you can see, as we age, that chart actually changes. Okay, so when we get older, we're going to expect our VO2 max to go down. That's normal.
Sure.
But we want to be able to see where we were and how we can progress from there. So you could do running protocols like the Norwegian 4x4 to increase it. But when you do your VO2 max test, you want to at least do it once a year, but ideally before and after a program.
I want to go back a couple slides here, because we did have the rules, but we didn't show them. And you were talking about them again, but I just want you to go through them again and we can get that graphic up so people can actually see what you're talking about.
Yes. So I would do this once a year or starting up a training program. There's no running or jogging whatsoever during this test. Time yourself when you're doing it, and you do it in minutes. So if you say you did it in 11 minutes and 20 seconds, that would be 11.33 for the formula's sake. And then what we want to see is that how quick you can do it and how low your heart rate is at the end. That will mean that you have a higher result than, say, doing it slower at a higher heart rate.
Say I'm not training for anything here and I just kind of see this and think, oh, well, sure, maybe, quite possibly. Why is it a good thing for me to know what my VO2 max is?
Because it's a key indicator for our health span. So if we have a lower VO2 max, that's actually worse than being somebody that is a smoker. So if you're sedentary, smokers have an all-cause mortality rate of 1.4. That means they have a 40% chance of dying for any other reason in general. Where if you're sedentary, you have a very low VO2 max score, meaning below that fair rating, you have 2 times the chance. So it's a very important thing that you know where you're at as you get older, so that way you can make changes in your life.
Now, and I know that a treadmill is a good way to do this, walking as fast as you possibly can, but is it still as effective if, say, you're outside walking briskly and keeping track?
So I like a treadmill because it lets me push myself harder.
That's why
by
I asked.
Increasing that. But that's not necessary. You can go for a walk around the park or anywhere. Just make sure that you track that time and that heart rate the moment you hit the mile.
All right, Spencer, thank you. Of course, we've got the very latest from Maxwell Nutrition. We'll link you to it on our website, wwltv.com, so that you can get started today. Thank you, good sir.
Thank you.